Hello everyone, I am Eddie Riccardi with Riccardi Real Estate. And today I have a special guest here with us. It's Vanessa Camara. Thanks for being here, Vanessa.
Thank you.
Vanessa will be talking to us about the Golden Visa program in Portugal, which is quite a popular program with people moving from overseas into this beautiful country. So Vanessa, I'll give you some time to introduce yourself.
Thank you so much, Eddie. Thank you so much for receiving me. It's a pleasure to be here with you and to speak about the Golden Visa program. First of all, let me introduce myself. I'm a lawyer at Antas de Cunha and Sierra. We are international law firm. We incorporated in the Sierra International Group. We are 1,000 lawyers in 16 countries. You name it, Brazil, Argentina, Mexico. We are actually in a lot of countries. Here in Portugal we have three offices. We have an office in Lisbon, Porto and Braga. We work in all the areas of the law. We are divided in departments according to the areas that we practice. I am proudly integrated in the immigration and real estate department. I can say that we are a quite good team, very experienced, senior and solid team. And regarding the Golden Visa, I can say that we are very experienced because we do this from the start, since the program started. We have more than 1,000 Golden Visas granted to citizens all over the world. And only a few law firms have a big share in the market regarding the Golden Visa, and we are one of them.
Perfect. Thanks very much, Vanessa.
You're
Thanks
welcome.
for introducing yourself. As you see, a lot of experience with Vanessa and his firm to back our clients moving from overseas into Portugal. Great team to be supporting from the beginning to end, and with everything that they do. Our focus, as you know, will be the part where she focused on, which is real estate and immigration. So now, without further ado, let's talk about the Golden Visa. So Vanessa, why don't you first explain what is the Golden Visa in Portugal?
The Golden Visa is a residence permit for investment purposes. What is this? So if you invest in Portugal, of course that you need to comply with the requirements stated by the immigration offices in Portugal. You can have a residence permit in Portugal, and it will grant you a temporary residency. Okay.
And Vanessa, tell me, what are some of the benefits of the Golden Visa in Portugal?
Well, there are quite a few actually. The Golden Visa allows you to enter in Portugal and stay in Portugal without a visa. It allows you to work in Portugal, live in Portugal. A person that invests through the Golden Visa program will have the same rights as I have as a Portuguese person. You can always reunify the family members to the program. And the most important thing is that which a lot of investors want to come to Portugal is that they seek the Portuguese citizenship, okay, and that is their main goal. So and I believe it's a really good benefit having a Portuguese passport.
Yes, I agree. Having an European
Yes,
passport,
exactly.
it's quite helpful.
Exactly.
And she mentioned about the family unification.
Yes.
As an investor, you can, there are other people that you can incorporate within the same application, so you can grant your family, your kids,
Yes, of course.
the Portuguese residency and EU passport.
Yes, of course. I actually can specify because sometimes people are a little bit confused who they can reunify. So an investor can reunify the spouse, okay, can reunify the children, minors or adults, can reunify the parents and the parents of the spouse. It's very important to explain that investor can reunify the children that are more than 18 years old. However, they have to be single, economically dependent by the investor and study. So during the program, a child that is more than 18 years old, we need to prove that they are single, economically dependent by the investor, and they are studying. So this is very important. And you can't, for example, reunify a child that is already 28 years old. It's not possible. It must be less than 25. And as I mentioned, for 5 years, they have to stick with these 3 requirements.
Okay, thanks for that information. And who can benefit from this program? Who?
Yes. The citizens that can benefit are the ones that are not part of the European Union and part of the Schengen area. The rest can benefit of this program. So citizens from Europe or Schengen area, it's not possible.
Okay, thank you for that. And we talked about already the family members that are eligible for the program.
Yes.
Together with the main applicant. But an important question that I receive often is, can an unmarried couple or a same-sex couple apply together for the golden visa?
Yes, actually they can, and it makes totally sense. However, we have to prove for the couple that are unmarried, we have to prove that they are together for at least more than 2 years.
Okay.
And a gay couple, of course, that they can be reunified, they can be in the program, and we just need to prove that they are married.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Vanessa, an important question I have. Can golden visa holders work in Portugal? And also, can they work in other EU countries while holding the golden visa?
Yes, this is a very important question because most of the people think that the golden visa allows people to work in Europe. And it's not like that. The golden visa program is a residence permit that you will have a residence in Portugal. And it will allow you to work, live in Portugal permanently or not, and only allows you to travel to the Schengen area in 90 days in a period of 180 days. So you can travel, but you can't work in Spain, for example, or live in Spain. It's different. But in Portugal, you can do, of course, whatever you want.
I understand. So those benefits will only be granted after the 5 years,
yes,
where
exactly.
you actually become a Portuguese citizen as opposed to a visa holder.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, thanks for that information. We have also, there's something that I'd like you to explain, how I had situations where multiple investors purchase a home of high value together, a vacation home between multiple families, and how each of those investors that bought a single dwelling was able to apply for the golden visa program.
Yes, that's possible. I think you're referring to the co-ownership of
that's
the
correct,
property.
yeah.
Yes, because what matters is that you invest the minimum amount required by the immigration services. And of course that are, I will explain that later, but there are minimum amounts that you need to comply. And you can, two investors can buy the same property. They can be co-owners, even 3, but each one of them need to invest the minimum amount required by the immigration services. So that is very important. Okay.
Yeah, that's been very helpful information to have, as I've learned, since I started working in the Portuguese market, how you do not, if you were to buy a high value property, a vacation home, that in between families you can come in together to have the vacation home, and now those families benefit from the golden visa.
Yes.
And another question that it's quite often, can the investor take a mortgage on the property they're investing, and can they take a loan in their home country to make the investment?
They can, but the investors must be very careful because the minimum amount required by the immigration services, imagine for the 500k option, it must be, it's impossible. It must be upfront from the investor, and you can't request a loan. Of course, that's, let's say the investor is interested in a property that it costs 800k, the 500k, it must be from his money, but the rest he can request a loan. Okay, but the property can't have the 500k can have any mortgages, lines or encumbrances. It must be totally clean.
Of course. So if you were to, the investment has to be the minimum, regardless of the price of the property. Whatever is beyond that value, then can be mortgage.
Yes.
But another question that I have in the case, let's say my clients are coming from Los Angeles,
Yes.
right? And they do have a way of borrowing these funds in LA through their investments, go to their bank and borrow €500,000. We talked about the 500K, and then transfer this money to.
What matters is that the investor opens a bank account in Portugal and transfers from his bank account to the Portuguese bank account, and then he does the investment here in Portugal.
Okay, perfect. So that's a possibility. That's fantastic. Now, we're coming to the end of travel restrictions, the end of COVID, and
Yes.
with the time that we're living now, can the investors still do the whole process of completing the purchase remotely?
Yes, that's a very interesting question. To be honest, before COVID, we were very used to our team to the clients when it came to Portugal to see the properties and do whatever they had to do. And with COVID, that was impossible. Unfortunately, people could not travel whatsoever, and so surprisingly, things went okay. Things went normal, as I can say, because people didn't stop investing. They were still interested in the program, still investing in Portugal, and that is possible. Of course, that if a person that is interested in the property but can't come to Portugal, me as a lawyer, for me to present this clients, my clients, we need to, of course, have a power of attorney, and I can't do nothing with that. But doing a power of attorney, and if he signs it and legalize it at the country where it is, we can sign the contracts that are necessary. We can do mostly everything on his behalf. The only thing that we can't do is that when they go to the immigration services for the biometrics, because they really need to come.
They need to come here for
Yes.
that. That's right. Now, I would like to talk a bit about, I understand there's lots of variances on this question, but what is the timeline with the Golden Visa application, and what are the expected costs for the application itself?
Before COVID, it was a little bit different, but nowadays, probably it is taking 1 year to get everything ready. When I say everything ready, is to have the Golden Visa card in the investor's hand in the family, because you need to choose an investment. Okay, you need to open a bank account. You need to prepare some things, of course, for us to be able to submit the application. Okay, and when we submit the application, it's in a specific platform, and then we need to wait for a couple of months to receive news from the immigration services. It's like a pre-approval, and then the investor, the family, after this pre-approval, needs to wait for the appointments for the biometrics, and after that, it will not be granted at that time the Golden Visa. They will need to wait for a couple of months. It depends on the immigration services that they go, and after these few months, that I can't precise because it depends on the immigration services, of course. They will be approved. They will need to pay for the card, and the card will be valid for 2 years. And then they need to renew the card again. They can do it before 3 months before the card expires. 3 months before, and it will be valid for more 2 years. So it's like 2 plus 2 plus 2. And the costs, when we submit the application online, they need to pay a SEF analysis fee, okay, for SEF to check the documents, if everything is okay, if the investment was done, and personal documents, and that costs for each person now presently,
of course, yeah.
€539.66,
Okay.
I believe, for each person. And then the cards, they are costing now €5,391, I believe, more or less. And when they renew the cards, it's half of that price.
Okay.
Okay.
And that's the cost per person.
per person always. Sometimes clients ask if I have a baby. No, it's per person.
Of course.
And of course the legal fees of the month.
So it will be the analysis fee,
Yes.
and then the golden visa card fee,
Yes.
and then 2 renewals following that.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
And when it comes to CEF, you did mention CEF. I just want to talk, just if you could just describe exactly what that is, because I'm familiar with CEF, you're familiar with CEF, but just if you could just say what CEF means.
CEF, it's the immigration services in Portugal. They are presently being restructured. They have actually a different name because it was actually extinct, but they are doing it restructured at CEF. It's actually the immigration services for Portugal, and
Okay,
they are the ones that we need to show that the investment was done in Portugal. They will analyze everything. They will everything about the golden visa. It's with this entity, okay?
Perfect.
However, to apply for the Portuguese nationality, it's a different entity. It's not with CEF.
Okay.
People usually think that it's with CEF, but it's not. It's with other entity in Portugal.
Thanks for that, Vanessa. And now let's talk about nationalities, right? Like today, Portugal has become this mix of nationalities, people from all over the world. It's such an
Yes.
international place. As from your firm, what do you see? What are the nationalities that you work with the most?
Well, to be honest, we work with all nationalities in the world. From our experience, we work a lot with the Americans, actually. They are very interested in the Golden Visa program. When the program started, probably not that much, but since 2 years ago, 2 years ago, they are very interested. And they are interested for different reasons, and I think it's... probably they want a second option in their lives, possibility to have a residence in Europe. But yes, I can say that it's the American. We have a lot of Americans nowadays.
Yeah,
investing
nice.
in Portugal.
Yeah. And
before it was China. They invested a lot, Chinese, in the golden visa, but now it's all the way back.
Yeah, I have noticed that quite a bit with my own clients.
Yes.
That also would have been worked since 2009 in the North American market, how that actually facilitated me into working in Portugal with a huge focus on the clientele as well, and it's been quite huge, the changes I would say in the last 12 to 18 months of the amount of North Americans investing now in Portugal. Which is again...
They keep coming.
Yes, that is a good thing. And for those people that are not familiar with the program, there has recently been some changes, right?
Yes.
From the beginning of 2022.
Yes.
And could you just explain a little bit what some of those most recent changes are?
Remembering that last year was a crazy year because of the changes of the Golden Visa program. Well, how can I say this? So... for the Golden Visa program, you need to invest in Portugal. There are some types of investment, but the most common ones are real estate, okay? And the significant change happened with that type of investment because before this law change, you could invest in any type of property in Portugal, but anywhere you wanted. Lisbon, it's the capital of Portugal. Porto, the main cities, you could buy anything where you wanted. But now things are different. Today it's not possible, since January 1st it's not possible to invest in the main cities, but when I say that it's for habitation purposes. This is very important because the real estate for habitation purposes, and you have other types of real estate for commercial and service purposes. For commercial and service purposes, you can buy anywhere you want. Okay? For habitation purposes, you can only invest in the interior of Portugal. And what do I mean by that? It's a specific decree law which has all the places that you can invest and is considered the interior of Portugal, or in the islands, beautiful islands, Azores and Madeira, that are a Portuguese islands, and it's a good place to invest also. So I don't know if I explained.
No, you did. You
okay,
did.
habitation purposes only in specific places, not possible in the main cities. Okay, but for commercial purposes or services like hotels, restaurants, whatever, you can buy anywhere you want. And it's very important for people to know that the real estate has two types of investments. You have the minimum amount of that you need to invest 500k, and you have the other type of investment, which is cheaper, which is you need to invest the minimum amount of 350k. However, you need to do rehabilitation works on this property. So this is for properties that the construction happened for more than 30 years ago, or they are located in a rehabilitation area. It can be one or another, but these two options, you always need to do rehabilitation works. You need to rehabilitate the property. Okay, and it's very important that if the investor invests in a low density area, of course that this is very specific, because we need to check if the place is considered a low density area. The investor can have a 20% discount. So the 500k goes down to 400k, and the 350k goes down to 80k. Okay, it's a lot of information, but I hope
it's important information to give. With the rehabilitation properties,
yes.
Those have also, as well, have become harder and harder to come around.
Yes.
Because with the years of the program, so many people took advantage of that lower investment amounts to get those rehabilitation properties. They do still exist. They just require a little bit more legwork to find. And as when you talk about the investments in the city that still work, like in Lisbon, in Porto, is that some examples, some of those buildings that are being built as accommodation, as hotels, but you also you have you can rent the apartment to others or not, as you wish. So there's many ways that that we've developers have been working with in a way to still keep it attractive in the cities for a golden visa. And as you mentioned, commercial real estate, right?
Yes.
Those do still qualify in Lisbon, Porto.
Anywhere. So this was the most significant change. Of course, that there were other changes. Some investments increased. The fund investment before was 350k. Now you need to invest 500k.
Of course.
So.
Of course.
Yeah.
And Vanessa, tell me, what do you think are some of the advantages of the Portuguese golden visa? There are other countries that do offer. But what do you see? Like, why is Portugal doing so well with the golden visa? And what are some of the real main points of attractiveness to the program in Portugal?
Yes, I'm Portuguese, so I'm very suspicious. But I think honestly, Portugal is a very beautiful country. We have everything: history, beach, sun. It's really nice. Comparing to other programs, I can speak for the other programs. I'm a Portuguese lawyer, but for example, comparing to Spain, I believe that the properties in Portugal are more. I know that you need to invest the 500k, but they can be more cheaper than investing in Spain. Everything is more cheaper than Spain. The foods. Spain is more expensive. For example, this is an example. I can say another example to study here in Portugal. It's very attractive. For example, American to put a child in university, it's ridiculously expensive. And we here in Portugal, you have great schools, great education. We have international schools also, and it's cheap comparing to other countries, and everyone likes it here. We are a very welcome country. We have a lot of business, and you understand.
It's good to have your point of view, because when we're choosing where to go from, when we move away from Canada, everything was an option, right? Spain was an option, Italy was an option. We consider all of those, and we travel through these. And Portugal is so attractive in a way of the kindness of the people, the good weather. You forgot to mention the good wine.
Ah, yes.
And then you do have this facility with the international schools. Like, I can only speak for Lisbon, but here we have a few French schools.
Yes.
You have British school, you have American school, you have the German school, and then you talk about another region of Lisbon that is Cascais. You also will have schools that they're taught first language in either English or French, and these are fantastic private institutions that have been around. Some new institutions that are a bit more progressive, but also some very classical education institutions. And I would say one that, since I've been here, that I have experienced is a fantastic healthcare.
Yes, yes. I could compare that to America because it's very different. Here you have you will have the right to go to the hospital. You will have healthcare. You will have access to the healthcare. In America, it's very different. And of course, I forgot to say that having a Portuguese passport is one of the Portuguese passport is one of the strongest in the world. So that is very appealing to the investors. And I believe that Portugal is a safe place.
That's another thing. Very safe.
Of course, that there are things that can happen, but I can say that I live in a country that is very safe.
I agree. I'm happy to live here. Thanks for having us here. We love this country, and I just wanted to get a little bit from your point of view and share a bit of my point of view on what a few things that make this country so attractive for people moving from abroad, looking for a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I had one more question.
Tell me.
Which is, it's more going back to your firm, right?
Yes.
You did mention it a little bit at the beginning, but obviously with my clients coming, there's always other services that are required that you do offer a complete package to people coming. Could you tell me or tell my clients a little bit more, what are some more of the services that you offer to these foreign nationals moving to Portugal?
Well, to be honest, we do all areas of the law, and we are very used to deal with international clients. I am part, as you know, of the immigration department, and we don't only work in golden visas. We work with any type of immigration. So, and we have a very strong tax department that can help clients to come to Portugal that want to live here permanently. So it's basically that. We really work, we are very experienced in all areas, and any help that the client needs, we are here.
Thank you very much, Vanessa.
Thank you.
And is there anything that I missed that you'd like to talk about, that is important about the program and about these foreign nationals considering a move to Portugal?
I can't recall now.
Okay, that's good. I'd like to thank you so much, Vanessa Camara, for your time to come in here and talk to me, to share your knowledge.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for watching. I hope that was informative and to get to those more commonly asked questions. There will be a link to the video for you to contact Vanessa directly, and also feel free to contact me so I can arrange for an appointment and introduction, and we can work together on getting you and your family to this beautiful country that is Portugal. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day.